Good evening, candidates. This is regarding E.P.F.O, Enforcement Officer, EO or AO, interview experience or candidate questions that can be expected in interview. Here, one of the persons we're working as a, say, in the E.P.F.O as posted his experience. He has stated it as under um, try to recollect the best of my memory, yet I assure that this is not the exact version of what had happened in the interaction between a group of 5 people, including myself, for about half an hour. But of course, it's common sense that things differ in theory and practice, as it is subjected to numerous factors, both known and unknown. And there are always better responses for every trigger. There are better responses for every trigger. But the more important thing is, how do you showcase yourself in that vibrant situation? How do you showcase yourself in that vibrant situation? I will give this point as most important point. I will give this point as most important point. Okay. Now let me come again to other things. Mm. The entrance door was too heavy for an ordinary person to push and move in. Somehow, with all my might, I pushed the door back and got inside. The members in the reception hall spoke more in Hindi and less in English. However, they took every effort to communicate themselves clear. At the reception desk, I was asked to hand over my mobile phone and any other electronic devices I had with me. Though I gave my phone, I forgot about my pen drive that I usually have in my purse. But the security woman was clever enough to scan it off, and after surrendering all those gadgets, I was allotted a table number 1, T1, meant for a particular board which was not yet disclosed. Right in the reception, there were 3 round setups with a tifa at the center, surrounded by some 6 or 7 chairs. The other candidates of my table had already occupied their seats. The girl from Jharkhand who gave me company in the waiting hall sat beside me. She wore salwar kameez and seemed to be not much bothered about the established custom of wearing a stiff sari. Of course, I wore a green silk cotton sari. Gentlemen came in suits with neatly tucked in shirts, blazers on, and tie around their necks. So, these points I'm reading out because it will be useful for you to know what type of dress you should be wearing for the interview. I could not count on my time, but I had to leave my watch in my bag, though I felt incomplete without it. My fellow candidates who waited patiently for an hour told me the duration later. For a few seconds, I sat outside and I immediately told to enter the last room in the corridor where the clock was set in for the countdown. I was not as nervous as it is usually described for UPSC interviews and totally forgot the fact that there was a minor spelling mistake in my online application form. Nevertheless, I felt confident throughout the process. This point I will read out because it tells you about being confident. Being confident. So this point is important. Nevertheless, I was confident. The chairperson of my board was the former chairperson, and she is not in the list of okay. In spite of keeping a grim face, she appears to be more attentive, mixed signals at the same time. Opening the door to see two lady members facing towards me to my left, guessing the center seated might be the chairperson and unaware about the identity of the other lady members. I took permission to get in, wished them good afternoon, and took my seat after they wished me back and told me to be seated. The panel was seated in a circular arrangement. The panel was seated in a circular arrangement with a male member very close to my left hand. They were enthusiastic in their voice, and that gave me a good start over. The interviewers are always enthusiastic. Hello, yeah. I am just reading out an interview experience in E.P.F.O of a candidate. Yeah. They were enthusiastic in their voice that gave me a good start over. Questions began to flow almost like a rapid fire, starting with the chairperson. Good afternoon, madam. Good afternoon, sir. Chairperson asked, good afternoon, so and so. Please take your seat. What are you doing right now? What are you doing right now? This question was posed to the candidate. What are you doing right now? Madam, currently I am preparing for the main examination for civil services. Then the question was, what is your subject? What is your subject? The candidate was asked, what is your subject? Then the candidate had doubt whether it was in graduation. Then the chairman told it was in civil services. Then the candidate told public administration. Candidate told public administration is my subject. Now question follows. Tell us, why do we have so many labor laws? Why do we have so many labor laws? Why do we have so many labor laws? This was the question asked to this candidate. Here the candidate answered, Madam, I don't get you properly. She repeats until I acknowledge my understanding of the question. The problem was a bit difference in North and South versions of English pronunciation, but I never minded in let them repeat the question till I understood the question. So this is a good point. That is, I am repeating this one. This is very important. You must ask for clarity of the questions. If you are not understanding some question, you can ask them to repeat. You can ask them to repeat. Nothing wrong. Next, mm, madam, currently we have some 44 labor laws which are complicated, leading to misinterpretation. So we are trying to consolidate into four labor codes. Chairman asked, tell me, why do we have so many specific laws? Why do we have so many specific laws? So many specific laws. Why are we having? The candidate told, Madam, about 93% of the total labor force of our country are in the unorganized sector. In order to address their welfare, in particular, we have over a period of time accumulated so many labor laws. This is what she says. Now the chairman is asking, so can you tell me what are the four labor codes? 1 minute. சரி, தண்ணியே இல்லை. Sorry, I was coughing, so I went. So, what are the four labor codes? The question was, what are the four labor codes? This candidate sold social security. Then, can I take a guess? I think for this, the answer can be told correct answer. We can see from here, Google, India, four labor codes. I think I came across that in one this material. Yeah. The four labor codes are wages. The four labor codes are wages, social security, industrial relations and occupation safety, health and working conditions. This is the answer to be given, but that candidate given some other answer, did not answer it properly. And yeah, 1 minute. Where is that? Yeah, 1 minute. Hold on. I don't know where I kept it. I think I checked on that one, so it has changed. Yeah, just a minute. Hold on. I'm trying to get the same link again. I'm trying to get the same link. I had lost the link. I had lost the link, so I must try to get you that. Just a minute. Hold on. Please. 1 minute. What is that marriage number? You know, these questions I have kept it. Good evening, Abhigna, E.P.F.O, Eero, mock interview, Neeraj. Yeah, yeah, I'm coming to it. I got it. I got that one. I'm coming to that. Just a minute. I was continuing with the question because the candidate told public administration they had asked some questions regarding that one. Then they went into labor laws. The question was why we have so many specific labor laws, and then the question was about labor codes. I told the labor codes also. New labor codes will be implemented in financial year 2022-23. Good, that's good. Then mm, question was, have you heard of conditional cash transfer? Have you heard of conditional cash transfer? Have you heard of conditional cash transfer? I don't know actually. Honestly, I do not know what it is. How to answer this, I don't know. We will see. What is conditional cash transfer? What is conditional cash transfer? Conditional cash transfer programs aims to reduce poverty by making welfare programs conditional upon a receiver's actions. The government only transfers money to persons who meet certain criteria. Conditional cash transfers could help reduce feminization of poverty. Good answering. Very good answering. Oh, it's minimum wage. Acha, acha. Good evening, Yogesh Sharma. Good evening. Good evening. Yeah, conditional cash transfer. Here, what I find under Google is what are the benefits of conditional cash transfer? Conditional cash transfers are considered to be innovative and distinctive for a number of reasons. One, for targeting mechanisms. Two, because beneficiaries receive cash instead of in kind benefits. Three, they often impose behavioral conditions of the recipient. Here, I think our Kisan Samman Nidhi, that is giving 6,000 rupees per year, is also one of the conditional cash transfer program, conditional cash transfer program, where recently also government accredited 2,000 rupees to the farmers. Now here there is one question coming. What is conditional cash transfers Philippines? Philippines, they have a program that provides conditional cash grants to the poorest of the poor. Then conditional cash transfer in India, what is there? Conditional India's conditional cash transfer program. In 2005, India launched conditional cash transfer program Janani Suraksha Yojana to reduce maternal mortality ratio. The cash incentive is intended to reduce financial barriers. Here, one more link I am giving you. One more link I am giving you in this video itself. You please take it. And I am also giving a link in our Telegram page. Telegram page UPSC. Yeah. Not just money, what mothers value in conditional cancer transfers program in India. Uh, yeah, that's okay. But this boy is telling something else. He is telling some, what is that? He is telling some minimum wage program. I don't know. We have to know about it. In fact, let me continue with the questions. Let me continue with the question. Ah, then the candidate is asking, is it something to related to universal basic income? The candidate says, I don't know whether it was appropriate to question back, but that is what I did. The chairman said, yeah, the candidate told, like universal basic income is about unconditional cash transfer. So there are so many countries in the world, particularly South American, that provide conditional cash transfers. Do you think universal basic income will work in India? Because don't you think if we provide money without any conditions, people will become lazy? The candidate says, here our argument was already in the negative, but since the government favors universal basic income and trying to bring it into implementation, I did not want to oppose it and decided to give a balanced view. Then, madam, yes, there are limitations, but before it is being implemented, we cannot come to any such conclusions. For that, we could always try it on a pilot basis before making it universal in its coverage. Chairman, um, no response for my reply. Give me a condition for conditional money transfer. The interviewee told we can ask them to do something worthwhile with their life. Bracket funny, silly, yes, that's not the answer. Do what? Like employed with something. Chairman says we can keep a condition that their children must be sent to school. The candidate told, yes, madam. Then she relieved herself and signaled the first male member seated immediately to my left to take over. Yeah. Now I will stop this interview with this because it's already 22 minutes. I will continue with the balance in my next video. Thank you. Thank you so much. Best wishes.